Well, we're here recording for a second time because the last one had an echo, and I don't know how it had that because I have headphones in my ears. But I'm going to be showcasing my matches using my updated Hieratic deck in Platinum. The first match is against the Ancient Warriors, and the second match is against Pendulums. So for this one, this is a victory. Even though I misplayed a little bit because I didn't know how to play against the Ancient Warriors, but it worked itself out in the end. But this one's not really showcasing anything new for the deck other than just, playing Chaos Ruler. And everything else here is pretty much what we've already seen before. But this duel isn't so long, so we won't speed this one up. We'll speed the next one up. Because the next one's Pendulum, and you know how Pendulums can go. Alright, and so one thing I used to not do, the reason I was only running the one unit is because I felt like it wasn't going to get a whole lot of value on it. But funny enough, we see right here, we can get value. So obviously, to maximize my hand, I want to special summon my monster, Dark Ruler, to give us effects. And I play Reasoning. This guy can clearly see I'm playing sixes. But luckily for me, off the top of the deck is an Ash Blossom. And then because of the tuners the new synchros that I added into the deck, I'm actually able to capitalize on this. So the issue with my previous version, which is why I have to cut out so many hand traps, is because getting anything besides the level 6 off of Monster Gate basically bricked you. But now, we're able to make some plays. And so, Chaos Ruler is really good, especially when you also add in Bar on the floor. Which gave this deck a lot of power. And Chaos Ruler is really good for discarding that egg to the graveyard so you can get extenders like this. You still obviously want to play, 3 of your rank 6s because this is where your real combos come in at. And I made this version of the deck to be a little bit more grindy. The last one was tap out a whole bunch of 6s, break their board, and then one-shot them with Numeron decks, basically. This version is more of like a more grindy based deck. You'll see it a little bit better in the next duel, where I basically throw. But so does my opponent. But we call his throwing benevolent, and mine just playing terrible. And right here, game's over. But we still have a bar on the floor. It says connection failed, but he quit. We all know he quit. And yes, I am showcasing a loss here, because I think this loss is a very important one to still kind of see the strengths of the deck. Because, again, I threw, but my opponent basically allowed me to have the chance to throw in the first place, so I appreciate him for that. So we're going to fast forward. He asked me, he must have felt really bad for this, because I passed. He's like, you're playing Hieratics, I asked you, and you passed. Poor baby. So he does his regular Pendulum stuff, and this also showcases how little I understand the Pendulums, because I'm going to negate a Pendulum card and it's not going to do anything at some point in this duel, and it's sad because I have no idea how to stop Pendulums. I either muscle through them or I do everything wrong. There is no in between. Even here, he could destroy my face down card with bearing the floor. He has 58. He practically has a game here. But he just chooses not to do anything. Just end it. So again, we appreciate this man for throwing the game for us. Even though he won. He's just built better. Except for that play. So now we're going to start just look at, good old extensions. Now, funny enough, if this was my old deck, we would have won right here with Numeron Dragon. Like this would have been a Numeron Dragon win right here, but I'm not playing for that. So right here, we're basically just trying to burst out as many resources as we can and establish a good, strong board. You could probably still play Numeron Dragon here. I'm just trying not to at the moment, but adding just a singular card to basically have access to Numeron Dragon isn't that big of a deal. Now the point here was to get another shield on the board for more interruptions during the opponent's turn. And I just didn't want him to have his negate on board and just can't. Oh, he was going to send it back to the extra deck and bring it back, so it being in the graveyard is just more beneficial for me. And again, I just don't know where to really cut people off when it comes to Pendulums. Maybe I should have been at it the, what's-his-face back to the hand, but luckily, he goes to this, and he doesn't know that Shields does not target. So we get to bounce him, and get a nice little turn going for us. And this guy outs my Draco Future, and the saddest way. And then he calls a level 1. Which is funny, because if he called 6 again, he actually had a chance. Since we already used Seals, now we have access to Overload. Stealing resources from my opponent. And so right here, I negate that, because I'm like, okay, well if I negate the effect, this should stop it, right? Wrong. It just does it again. So I wasted my negate. Now, remember this Gamma, because we did reveal it to our opponent and somehow he just completely forgot. But we get the top deck of the century, but we also have the Divinity Graham Crackers to keep us in the game for the grind fest. So right there, we would have lost the duel. That'd have been game. If he attacked us on the first turn. Already lost. And this is where I throw. Right here. So this is the right thing to do. It's how I special summoned that was wrong. Defense, attack. Attack. Monster Born. Get my red eyes. Use this effect, special summon, and get negated. just like that, we were 700 short. And we get annihilated right here. Now the other choice I had was going into another Seals. So it was a 50-50. Either I use these two to go into Seals, which it could have bounced, you know, his Celine, but he may have not even went into Celine and just had something else to just destroy me anyway. So he's only got 2,100 life points. But the opponent, he really did deserve that win. He basically gave me the first turn, so yeah, no real reason. I honestly should have won. He definitely outplayed me there, so it's all good. We take that L, and we'll remember it. Now, this version of the deck doesn't have the same extra deck, but it's more or less about what to expect out of the deck. Still have the level 2, still have the level 6. You may still play a second one, because I was realizing when I was testing this version, I only had the one Dark Monster. So after a certain point, if I wanted to bring back my Chaos Ruler, I had to remove this dragon if I didn't find some way to get Scarlet on the board, because that's the only other dragon besides Tzolk'in. So you probably want to play a second version of Labrajack Dragon or Dryguard, because use a normal summon basically into Baron de Fleur, which you should obviously have in this extra deck. But here I was kind of testing a little bit more of what the 8s can do. Stardust, Scarlet Red Dragon, Borlo, Chaos Ruler. So when I went to my other profile, I decided on Chaos Ruler, Borlo. I think I did add Scarlet in there, I just never summoned it, because it's actually still pretty good to special summon off of something like your Cypher and Gamma if you have an opportunity to do so. You know, if they they activate anything that negates you, and then you have your Gamma, you can bring them out on the board and kind of just wipe out everything. So it has its advantages. But yeah, this is basically how I'm kind of running it. It's been a really fun deck, just kind of teching in other strategies. If I was to kind of make this a little bit more tailor-made to having that one-shot potential still, obviously, you know, having a 41 deck isn't going to be a big deal, but you could remove the Light Pulsar Dragon, which is mainly here just to kind of recur the Red Eye Darkness Metal Dragon for that long game. But you get rid of him, add Spiral Dragon, and then just kind of remove like Wing Pegasus, Stardust, maybe Scarlet Red, and you add your number 100, the dragon that summons it, and then the one material, and then boom, you have your one shot, you have your long game, and then you have your XYZs to still go into. So you still have that option. I just wanted to really test the deck without it, even though that would have easily won me the game if I was playing that version of it. So yeah, that is the deck. I think this one has been pretty consistent. A lot of the hands, if you do your test runs, this is still a go second deck in my opinion. There's a lot of your hands, not that one, but a lot of your hands like this one, you kind of want to go second, because if you open Tefnuit, you know, you get a free special summon, and you could get a lot more extenders out of it, you know, compared to going first, where you're forced to have to open your level 5 normal summon to get any type of play. This hand would have been cracked out though, you know, we would have been fine, but you typically want to still go second with this deck, because that extra one card is going to be very, very, very important to kind of play around your opponent. But as you can see here, a lot of these hands have a lot of potential to them. Some of them you're still going to brick. This deck is still kind of like this. You're still going to brick. Like, how do I draw this one card two hands in a row? I don't know, but you'll still come across some bricks. Or like in this situation, if you went first with this, you can't do anything, but if you go second with this exact same hand, you can, because you can special summon him and then tribute him and then make your plays like normal. So that's kind of the difference, which is why I say you typically want to go second with this deck. That one extra card, or just even going second because it's Tefnuit, it's just that important. You get more plays. But if you do have to go first, you know, you want to see your level 5, your Catapult Turtle. Did I put Catapult Turtle in here? oops, your catapult turtle, you know, just so you have your start or whatever. You still want Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm, you know, Monster Born, Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster. All of these fun things, you still need to break the board. Forbidden Droplets in this version might actually be a little bit better now, because you may have a couple more resources that you can kind of burn while getting your big OTK on the board. And you could also go into your level 8s naturally, where you don't necessarily have to cheat out Spiral Dragon. You could probably make like Chaos Ruler and then also Borolo Savage Dragon, and then go into your rank 8s as well that way. I wouldn't advise it, but you could. But this is the deck. It was pretty fun. I actually enjoyed it in the event, in the Synchro event, and also out of the Synchro event. I think in the Synchro event is actually a sleeper pick. It was actually pretty strong in the event. Not as strong as my Dragunity deck is, but I mean, that's because this entire main deck is, you know, no more rare. And to make this deck strong, you need a ton of SRs and URs. So it's a cheap deck, but to make it good, it's pretty expensive. But that's the deck. Hope you enjoy. And if this video has an echo again, you're just gonna have to listen to this echo, because I'm not doing this again.